Yes, thank you for the reminder. And so our webinar will start here. And if you would like to also join our technical working group, please feel free to join us. And today we are very glad to have two experience sharing by two colleagues from South Asia. And the first sharing is by Mr. Fawok, the CVA focal point from Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. He will introduce to us the applications of different cash and voucher modalities to address the WASH outcome. We can learn from the Bangladesh experience. Secondly, we have Mr. Amor, the Deputy Director of Nepal Red Cross Society. He will share the experience of conducting pre-crisis markets assessments in WASH and the importance to cash readiness and preparedness. Just reminded by my colleague, this webinar is recording. We will share it for learning purposes. And I would like to introduce all participants to mute your microphone to ensure the smooth rundown. And as I mentioned to you, we have online notice board Padlet available. So you can now click the you can scan the QR code on the screen to access to the Padlet. Otherwise, I'm going to share the link again in the chat box once again now. So if that's the situation, so thank you very much for joining us, and we will start our first sharing. Over to you, Mr. Fawok.
Hi,
Fawok.
Terry.
Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening also, some of you. So I'm Farooq Rahman. I'm cash focal point of Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. So I'm working here more than 10 years, and I have a little bit experience of SaaS deployment, and I also work as a cash delegate in Albania. So today I'm going to share you some of experience regarding cash voucher assistance for WASH in Bangladesh context. So can you go further? Next slide. So today we will share why and when BDRCS is doing cash and CBA experience of Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, step-by-step process, some modalities, delivery mechanism, and cash forward activities, and our strengths and challenges I will share with you. Yeah, next please. So when BDRCS is doing cash, so we said this before disaster occurs. So you know that we are using the anti reaction for flood and cyclones. So we usually do cash before the disaster occurs. And emergency and during crisis, we also do. So it's also food, non-food, and including the cash and voucher assistance we do here. And nowadays, this multi-purpose cash is very popular in emergency and emergency situation. And recovery and transitional period, we usually go for the conditional cash grant for WASH, livelihood, shelter, and short-term employment or opportunities, means diploma or something that's do the technical things. Next, please. Some of the picture is basically on the flood and cyclone. These two disasters frequently occur in Bangladesh, so you might see. Next. So why we do the cash transfer? So we can say that it's power transfer, dignity, flexibility of choice, accountability, and low possibilities of fraud and corruption. So these are the things always in our mind, and no middleman, cost efficiency. So these are the things that we do the cash. This next. And here you can see the sum of the cash voucher assistance program that we distributed in 2020 and 2021. So it is emergency response and also some part of the recovery. So we counting cash for 2020 and 2021. So we can see the summary that in 2020 we distributed 82,603 households. So it is the most distribution of cash in our experience. I've seen this within the 10 years. And in 2021, that we distributed 58,000, more than 58,000. And this year also we are counting cash. That it is more or less 50,000 over. So if you see that most of the distribution is for the multi-purpose cash grant we supported, and some are for also the recovery. And our delivery mechanism was post office, the mobile money transfer, and also some cash on envelope also, and bank. But cash in envelopes is very few nowadays. And in 2021, if you see that in the wash part, we also covered a lot of beneficiaries with this cash for wash. So I'm going to next slide. So if you have question, then we can answer you later. Yeah. So this is our intervention process. How do we the cash? So there is identification process, beneficiary identification, and beneficiary list verification. Then we set up the cash transfer mechanism, then cash transfer to the beneficiaries, and then we go for the post monitoring. And also this process is continuously going on, and CEA feedback mechanism, PGI, all is in a central point. Next, please. These are some the step-by-step process we follow for the CVA things. So I'm not going to the details. We can share it with you. You can see. So just when and our modalities. Okay, yeah. Okay, I can say something. No worries. Previous slide. Not previous one. Yeah. Yes. So when the disaster happened, we go for the data analysis, and there is a response analysis that will go for the cash or not. Then market assessment is happening. Then we do the beneficiary selection, and then go for with the financial service provider, and then going for distribution, and later on the PDM. So it's same for all types of cash grant. Next, please. Yeah. So if you see, that's our modality, and when we use this cash, the unconditional previous usually we use in pre-disaster and emergency situation, and conditional cash grant we go for the early recovery and development programs, and voucher is for displacement and conflicts. We are using this voucher, and cash for work is transitional period, so it's usually also during the recovery or long-term program. So please next. And we use the delivery mechanism. We said this. We have the agreement with the post office, Bangladesh Post Office, and mobile money transfer. So we have agreement with bKash and another financial service provider also. We are going to agreement come in the 2023, and we have the bank as a delivery mechanism, and passbook and prepaid. So these two things usually we don't use during this time, but we have in mind. So if needed, then we can use. Basically, the passbook is used for in the camp area. It's very popular. And prepaid card also we are not using, but it can be previously, and last of all the cash in envelope. So if you see that's the maximum cash distribution we done by the Bangladesh Post Office, then mobile money transfer, cash in envelope is very, very low, and banking also we are using the recovery period or development program, so it is low. Yeah, next please. So I'm coming our topics point. The main topics point is cash for wash. So why we do the cash for wash? So this wash is very important, like other things, the food, livelihood, or shelter. So it's also the basics. It's also the basics. And so we are trying to restoring to access water and sanitation, and restore the hygiene practice of the communities. For this one, we are doing the cash. Next, please. Yeah. Next. Hello. Terry, can you hear?
Yes, sorry, it is.
Next. Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
Okay, next slide, please.
Next slide.
Sorry, there are issues. Sorry for that.
Any technical problem, or shall I use my own?
Farooq bhai, maybe I don't know. Maybe you can start your own. Yes.
Yeah, please, Mr. Farooq, can you use your PowerPoint? I have some issues for my side. I'm sorry.
Okay. I think you can use also this time. See, but I don't have. Yeah, let's see. Like I can. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Previous slide.
Please
Yeah.
continue.
Previous one. Previous one. Okay. Next. Yeah. Please. Next. Next, please. Yeah. Next one. Okay. Jerry, I think you can stop yours. It's technical problem. It's not moving.
It's not moving?
No. Okay. I'm trying to use mine one. Yeah. I'm trying to give access to me. I'm trying to use mine. No?
So we're sorry for the technical error.
You can see mine?
Yes, clear. You can click the projector mode. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for this. So
please click the projector mode, please.
Is it okay? You can see?
Not yet to the projector
full screen
mode.
then.
You can full screen then.
নিচে PowerPoint mode দেন।
Bottom right corner, the projector mode.
Now it's okay? No.
39% এর পাশে 39% এর পাশে দেখেন যে একটা স্লাইড আছে, ওই যে স্লাইডের মতো 39% যেখানে নিচে go below। ফারুক ভাই নিচে PowerPoint এর যে আপনার প্রেজেন্টেশন মোডে দেন। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, আর হচ্ছে একটু ডাইনে যান। হয়নি এখনো, নিচেরটা ডাইনে যান। এই নোটের পাশে নিচে দেখেন নোট লেখা। এরপরেরটা
দিলাম তো এটা।
দেন এই যে এখন ঠিক আছে। ওকে ফাইন, নাও দিস ইজ ফাইন।
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So
perfect. Yes, go ahead.
For wash activities, what we usually do, some of our activities like do sanitation and water sources installation, and maintenance of water and sanitation infrastructure, monitoring and sensitization to vendors for water quality, supporting water and sanitation traders association for maintaining standards, awareness raising session on hygiene promotion, and okay. So these are some activities we usually do. And if you see that distribution of cash for wash, like cash for latrine, tube well, and hygiene promotion, and cash grant to wash vendors to improve their equipment. So we go for the conditional versus strict or unrestricted. We usually do these things. So when we go for the intervention, so what we do, the adopted the DPHE, it's the government Department of Public Health and Engineering. So we adopt the Latin model for the community. Beneficiary usually prepared their proposal, and each beneficiary received usually 18,000 to 20,000 approximately. It is 200 CHF for Latin construction. We do awareness session, community-based water point established, then water and sanitation market and service assessment, vulnerability assessment, analysis to identify delivery mechanism, develop monitoring and evaluation, risk assessment with mitigation measures, coordination with the stakeholders, especially with DPHE. And BDRCS cash SOP is always followed for any cash grant intervention. So some of the picture I can show you. You see this model lectin is established in the community. So basically this type of lectin we use in the community, and you can see there's the water tank. So it is for the water harvesting in the cyclone prone area. So we distributed usually cash grant. So they procured this water tank, and this also some plinth is raised with the cash for work, and also the cash for the plinth raise and cash for tube well. This work happened in the flood area. And if you see some of the things that what we did in the recovery in 2029 is for cash for Latin, we covered 500 households. Household is 18,000 BDT. So I put it here BDT. 1 CHF is equal to 100 BDT, you can see. And the flood 2029 recovery operation as cash for tube well. So we distributed the for 10. It's one tube well price was 20,000. And cyclone Ampan recovery operation, so 250 for cash for latching and 250 that's cash for rainwater harvesting. We have other sectors also, but I just only highlighted here on the cash things what we have done for cash for wash. And some of the ongoing project that is in IFRP, equals called Integrated Flood Resilience Program. So they distributed 100 households, that's PDT, 20,000 households, and you see the selection as built by the beneficiaries. And we have other project also. So it's in the Cox's Bazaar. It's in the camp and also the outside the camp in the post community. So in the camp, 26,000 people is covered with this project, and also the 40,000 post community. So it's a very interesting project. So they do the so we do here the solid waste management actually. So this volunteer using or collecting this type of waste and the disposal in a proper way and protect the environment. And here the volunteers are working per day. We provided over 400 per day PDT, and this mechanism is monthly payment through bank check. So it's a very interesting. And one project is ongoing. It's in the flood-prone area. So we call it reinforcing a rural resilience program. So this 2,255 number latent are already installed here. So it's also interesting, and it's partnership with the government and also the beneficiary and BDRCS. BDRCS contribution is 70%, and Union Parishad, the lower level of government here, the 20% they contribute, and 10% from the beneficiary contribution is go. And we also established here the tube well in the community level, and wash block, double pit lectin, and tube well also here. And if you see, there's one more project. There's also working for wash, cash for wash, that is urban empowerment resident project. So its amount is quite high at 30,000. Here we use the modality that's through bank account, it's beneficiary bank account, and one lectin price is 30,000, but we provided here in 2 installment. First installment is given at the beginning, 20,000, and second installment when we see the satisfactory improvement of the lectin constant, then we provided the second installment. And some of I show you here the beneficiary selection process for this project. So first, a list of interested beneficiaries prepared through monthly meeting in the community cluster. Then the block management committee, they need to apply this thing. The block management committee visit door to door of the interested beneficiaries. So here, whose in monthly income is below 8,000, and preference given to also families, they have the children, disabled and elderly. It's also common for everything. And household, they do not have the latrines, and households whose latrines are in unsanitary, unsafe or broken conditions. So the privilege given to this type of beneficiaries. And if we say that's our strength, we have the experience actually. So since 2007, we started the cash grant, and from 2014, it was quite big number we are covering. So nowadays, it's more than 50,000 households we are covering each and every year. So we have a lot of experience for this cash grant. We have cash SOP, and it is revised frequently when needed. And movement cash working group. So here we have the partners, national society and federation. So we all are work together for development of the cash grant. And we have trained this stuff like PACT member, level 2 training completed, and basic cash. We are ready for any time for quick assessment through our 68 branches, and availability of mobile data collector. So maximum all our volunteers trained with this mobile data collection things. And we have the framework agreement. It is very important. We can do the cash faster. We have the BPO, BCash, and we have the agreement with the bank also. And we have dedicated CA team, data management team, and protection, gender and inclusion team there. We have hotline number. We usually this every time, and effective monitoring mechanism. This is our strength. And challenges, I will say that's like everywhere the funding is the challenges. And one thing is that follow the same standard for cash forwards and other cash grant, especially for conditional cash grant. And educational knowledge or other knowledge is not same for the stakeholders. So you can say the beneficiary and vendors. So sometimes for this reason, we need to do the monitoring properly. And we do one thing that's always we establish the model latrine before going for starting the big large number of installation. And behavior change is a very complex issue, you know. There's are some challenges. So I'm stopping here. So if you have question, then I will answer it. And
So thank you very much, Farwok. It is a very nice presentation. It gave us some ideas that we have different cash voucher assistance model. They have the cash for latrine. They have the cash for different kinds of hygiene items. It can be applied in the emergency situations, long-term development projects, as well as in the camp situations. So we see there's a lot of varieties, and Bangladesh Red Crescent Society is definitely one of the strong actors of cash in the region, and they applied different kinds of models in different situations. So we see the adaptability here. So I just repost the PetNet link in the comment box again. So you can go to the online notice board, write down your takeaway or questions. Right now, I've already received 2 questions. We hope to address the questions at the end of the presentation. Okay, so let's move to the second presentation. So I would like to invite.
Yes. Jerry, I think I covered all, huh?
Yes. You cover all, and we get you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Farwok. So let's move to the second sharing, Mr. Amar. So over to you. The topic is on pre-crisis market assessments.
Yeah, Terry, just I sharing, if you take out your sharing.
Yes, we can see the screen, so you can hide the Teams screen and then present the PowerPoints. Yes, perfect.
Yes.
See you.
Yes. Then without taking more time, I want to start. Yeah, thank you everybody. This is Amar Mani Podil from the Nepal Red Cross Society. Nepal Red Cross Society has been already conducted two pre-crisis market assessment and different contests. That means the different disaster contest. And basically in this PCMA things, we have support from the Austrian Red Cross and also IFRC and cancer working groups, and from the different department of the Nepal Red Cross Society. We conducted one PCMA in the mountain area, the recent one, the last one, and another we conducted in plain area where flood is the lead disaster, recurrent disaster. We take the caseload of flood in first PCMA, and the second PCMA we took the caseload of landslide. It's a mountain area, and we adopted the different crisis scenario based on the disaster type, and two different PCMA. Landslide, we took 2021 as a crisis scenario in our context. Based on that, we selected the districts. And scenario flood, we took 2017 flood scenario as a crisis one. That's the idea we took in PCMA, how we decided the field. And then you can see the location. We have 7 provinces. The first PCMA we did in plain area, you can see the province 2 now is renamed Madhya Pradesh, and there are 8 districts. We selected the 4 districts considering the characteristics, and the last one is landslide scenario we conducted in Gandaki province. It's a purely mountain, but one area is like a plain area. One district is plain district, but other districts are all mountain districts. And after selecting the province, we also formed the PCMA field team based on the characteristic of province districts. We divided our team as a cluster basis, and those team prepared their desk work in Kathmandu and province office, and then they moved particular district and area to collect the data. And then based on our context, and we have also the WAS cluster, and then our department, like our disaster management department, health department, our department, based on critical market systems in our context, we selected 7 critical commodities, 6 commodities, but one is like a service. So we selected 7 based on our market system and based on need in our context, and those things are we are frequently distributing in emergency, and people are needing those things frequently in emergency, so that we selected this commodity and service as a critical service and commodity in our context. Like you can see, bathing soap is one critical commodity, laundry soap, sanitary pad, chlorine, both item, bleaching and aqua tablet, oral rehydration solution, ORS, Toilet pan is a commodity, and technician service also we selected is a critical, and bucket 10 to 20 liter. And these items are critical items, and so we are regularly distributing those items in our general or recurrent disaster. And people prefer these items frequently in the disasters. And then those items also one of the damaged item while disaster happen in our context. And how we adopted the stepwise process for the PCM in our context. We have technical support in first PCMA from the Austrian Red Cross. And then second PCMA, we did ourselves with the support from the Austrian Red Cross and also the Federation, and then our other department like a disaster management department. First, actually, based on the scenario, we choose the scenario. One scenario is landslide, another scenario is flood. Based on the scenario, we selected the province and districts. Then we formed the team. And then we form the two types of team. One is a field team who directly collect the data from the field. And then second team is the monitoring of. Sorry?
To all participants, please mute your microphone. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. Mo, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. And then we form the two teams. One is field team and monitoring team. And then we also upload question set in Kobo Connect by our IM officials. And then we also prepare the questionnaire checklist for the focal group discussion and informant interview. And those qualitative data also we collected from the field. And then we make the field plan. And we also prepare the tools mapping, because there are a lot of tools. By using those tools, we can collect the information from the field, but how much or how many tools we can apply based on discussion our teams and our partner. And then we select the limited tools which is appropriate for our context, and based on that tools, we collected the information. Then our team went to the field, and we as a monitoring team just went also the field to support the on-site and to support the management things, and to guide the team if there is any confusions, those things. And after the collections, the data, raw data, then we organized 2 days write-up. Write-up means especially writing the commodity or service-based report by the team. And then we organized for the landslide case, we organized that write-up in Pokhara, one of our good city, province city. And the first one we organized in Kathmandu. And then after the write-up workshop, then we make the report presentations. And then after we share the report to internally to collect the feedbacks. And then monitoring team check at last and make the final draft. And then we share to the wider partner, especially our funding partners and other partners. Then we make it final, and then final report we will post in our website, and also our partners also link to that website. That way, we took the process, the whole PCMA. And these are some photos during the field exercise, during the write-up workshop, during the orientation before move to the field, and during the FGD and the KII in the field. And also some photos are orientation to the district chapter teams. These are some photos. And then some are the findings, because we compose it here, the two PCMA finding in one form. Actually, based on our 2 PCME, we found that the manufacturer to wholesaler not so affected. Actually, during the disaster, manufacturer to wholesaler, they are more resilient. Actually, we found these things in the field. But retailer and consumer are more affected in both cases because they are the real community in the real disaster area, and they are more affected. Actually, we found during the both PCME. And the transportation service also affect. Then the mountain case, landslide case, when the transportation service affect, then the porter service came in place actually. So that the way in landslide case. And the laundry soap and menstruation pad manufacturer are available in district in both cases. Actually, there are some entrepreneurship and there are some manufacturing, the real company as well. So both way we can find those commodity in community and the nearby community. And retailer to wholesaler market flow chains seen in diverse directions. However, mostly manufactured are southern part of the country and transborder to India. In our case, actually, the retailer to wholesaler market flow is anywhere. If there is a one market and their flow chain is maybe anywhere. But if we talk about the manufacturers, all manufacturers are mostly located to the southern part where Indian border is adjoining the Indian border. So wholesaler more depend on the plain area of Nepal and through the India actually. That's the case. This is our finding. And price fluctuation, because in not in normal emergency, the fluctuation is not big one actually, like a 5 to 10%, because it's everyday need items. This commodity are everyday need. There is no more fluctuation even in disaster. But if road blocked and there may be some greater fluctuation, and then it's go up to the 15% fluctuations. And considering this fluctuation, we have to put the amount rate of those commodity in our design that we came in know actually in our context. And then yeah, actually one of the critical item was chlorine in our case, but the chlorine case in our context, this is not manufactured in Nepal, so we have to depend on the India, but they have some supplier, transborder supplier, and we have to depend on that transborder suppliers. And then some like a small supplier also we found in the mountain area, in the trekking route where the more tourists just visit to Nepal in the mountain area. In those special area, we also found the aqua tablet, especially for the drinking water treatment for tourists who frequently visit that route. And then actually in our case, sometimes it's difficult to identify wholesaler and then retailer, because wholesaler also sell the small quantity of item as well. So most of the wholesaler where we went, they claim we are a wholesaler, but it's a nature basis. They also work as a retailer. So that's also one of the key point for us. And then if we talk about the branding or the brand of items, those commodity, most of the brand in WAS, this critical item are local. And also we found some national, and the few are Indian brand, because in flood case, our area is joining to Indian border, so that we can find easily the Indian brand item there. And if we talk about the pre-positioning capacity of existing disaster response organization in those area in flood case, and also the in also the landslide case, very few organizations have the pre-positioning capacity actually. And they are not well pre-positioning capacity, means they have no any pre-stroke these wash items. When they need, they go to the procurement systems and procure and then they distribute actually. And the Nepal Red Cross have some pre-positioning in these regional warehouses. And then based on these two PCMA, we feel that and the CVA is most feasible. But the critical issue is transportation service actually. If the transportation service blocked, then we have to go the mixed modality and also the in-kind. But if there is no long transportation blockade, then we can go CVA modality very easily, even in mountain case in our case. That's the gist learning. And still to cover the all country part, if we want to use the more widely CVA tools, then we have to increase our readiness capacity within the organizations, within the province Red Cross, and also the district Red Cross. But we are working a lot during that part as well, because we have technical working group in national headquarters, and we have the CAS trained person in districts, and also the trainers, and then we have also the cascading training models, and and we have also manuals, SOPs. Those things are there, but still we have to cascade very widely up to the community or district level. That is our thinking if we talk about the readiness and importance of this PCMA. We feel that the how market functions, even in emergency and normal context, that thinking is very few in rare case in our development perspective staff and volunteers. But if we increase those understanding in all our volunteer and staff, that would be great for us in the response and the future response. That the one importance we feel during this PCMA process. And then design of WAS response, because we want to change our response in kind to mixed modality or CVA modality. For that, we have to understand the market first. Without understanding the market, we cannot design the proper like a WAS response through the CVA tools actually. That we understand, our team understand. And also the contingency plan, and also the service provider way, because we sometimes work as a service providers, and we have to prepare the contingency plan within the organization and for the community as well. For that case, if we know the market and market supply chain and market like up and down, and then market characteristics, it would be great for us to make the contingency plan and then work as a service provider in emergency case. And then if we have the price record through the PCMA process, and then same price, same commodity price, if we timely recheck in the market and how it fluctuates, that way we can monitor the market time to time and its supply chain component. So it is also good for us. Even we have to do this in normal situation, considering the crisis situations, and then it helps to price fluctuation monitoring regularly. That's the one way we feel it's important. And also at last, it helps us to make the plan, better plan in the organization base, and our people can like feel some internal things of market, so that it is easy to conduct the training and also the make the plan. These things are there. This I put in the importance part. And this is the last like a slide. We are doing a lot of things in readiness, but just I put two things here. We prepare the first report of PCMA, and also we have also SOP for CDP or maybe a CVA. Thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yeah, thank you, Amar. So I think the presentation is very comprehensive. It let us know briefly about the background of the pre-crisis assessments in Nepal, and it gave us a lot of insights on how we can plan our WASH interventions and also identify the strengths and weaknesses of the national society. Just like what Amar mentioned, they identified the biggest loophole might be the transportation issues. Then they consider the mixture of the in-kind and cash supports at the same time. So thank you very much. And to all participants, thank you very much for joining the webinar. I have reposted the link of the online notice board to you once again. So right now we will go through some feedback of both sharing sessions. So Mr. Fawok, can I also invite you to switch on your camera and ready for some questions from our audience, please. So right now you can also go to the online notice board and write down your takeaway and also your questions. We will try to answer here or later. So on the topic 1, application of cash for WASH, we hear about the lessons learned in Bangladesh Red Crescent Society. A participant said he or she liked the idea of cash for lecturing. Alex would like you to share more about the experience with the technical working group so that we can continue to disseminate your experience in the later stage. And we will, of course, finalize this presentation and share in our webpage. There is another guess.
Oh, it's answer. I just tried to answer this question. I just tried to answer of Alex's question. Yeah.
There's several questions Fawok may share with us. One is about the regulation of lecturing subsidy. Second one is about the cash-related behavioral challenges. And third one is about the impact evaluation. Over to you.
Yeah, so I have given, I have tried to given the answer of these things. That's if you see for the first question, you say there's this national society is already implementing market-based WASH program. So here I can say there's when we go for the cash for latrine or cash for the tube well or hygiene promotion. So I'm giving example from the cash for latrine. So when we do these things, so once we adopt this drawing designing from DPHE, then we orient in the community, is the local engineer or mason or vendor. So we orient them. So after that, they produce the materials and they sell it to the community people. So this how the local market are revitalized and also the economy also get revitalized from this chain, and it produce a chain. Suppose day labor can work and the transportation and so and the vendors they get a profit. So I can give this answer like this way. Yeah, and for the community-led total sanitation. So there's the for the we implementing the past things. There's in the community when we go for the hygiene promotion, behavioral change. So it's very much uses in our community. So if you considering like previous situation, then now then you will see the lot of things are changes. So especially the children and the young women, they are adapting with this hygienic behavior. But some of the elderly people, they don't want to change sometimes. So that's the only thing I put it in my challenges. But maximum people, they change with this behavioral change session. Suppose I'm giving example that, so before going for latrine, they use the sandal, and after latrine, they wash their hands with soap. So this type of change we can see after the project also. And that our need is high, a lot of people are vulnerable, but we can support all. So we can whose we are support, that's the people usually change. So example in our one operation, so we given the cash for latrine and also the hygiene promotion. So we have seen after 1 year, 2 years later, there's people also buy soap, and also the household hygiene promotion, they continue. So we can say that they change their behavior. And if you see, that's the evaluation of the project. Yes, we do evaluate for all the projects. So, and we always try to adopt what we learn from the other project also. And this is not so much that if you say there's like a what do you call that, education. Some of here you say there's a conduct some wash education. How do you evaluate? So education purposes, that's I can say we disseminate this fast training to the community, and also hygiene ministerial training the community. There's the thing we implement in the community, and both hardware and software we also use these things. So and so these are all from my side. So if anybody want to answer some of this, I can open for it. From Bangladesh, anybody want to join with me for answering any of the question if I missed something?
Thank you, Farrell. Let me take 2 more minutes to address one final question to Amar. So here is the question. So do you have any plan in the call for multi-sectoral reflective market assessment? Over to you, Amar.
Yeah, actually, we have not right now the such type of plan, multi-sectoral PCMA. But earlier, our disaster management also did some PCA, maybe not only one sector, maybe 2-3 sector. And now we conducted, especially considering the WAS critical items. And we also completed the shelter critical item and NRFI critical items. But right now we have not multiple like a sector together. But in future, I think it would be good idea to have such type of multiple component together in one PCMA would be the one of the good learning actually. Thank you for a suggestion. Yeah, and then certainly we have the technical working group within the nations and within with us also. And then if anything, we can get support from the technical working group also. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Amar. He has already promoted our technical working group as the final verse. So you are most welcome to go to our website. We have some different kinds of resources like the webinar, reports, guidelines, and also training sections. If you feel you are interested in it, feel free to use those materials. And just like Alex invites us, if you have any questions, good examples you would like to share with us, most welcome to contact us. So I think the webinar is almost the end. I would like to invite all participants. You can still go to this online notice boards, go to the My Takeaway parts. If you have some takeaway points or you grab one key important message you have already bring back. So I'm glad to hear from you. So I think that's all. Our colleagues from technical working group, do you have anything to add? If no, then thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry for the technical issues. We free from different time zones, and we try to coordinate this session. And glad to have so many people to join us today. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, Terry, and thank you, Alex. Thank you, Jamili, and all for
Thank you, Paul.
fantastic arrangement. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry for the
Thank you
technical
so much,
issues.
everyone. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, Jamili.
thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Great
Thank you very
work.
much.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Terry, for
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, sorry, close the session.